I've tried this intro so many times and I keep getting it wrong. I'm going to leave it at this one. Whatever I do now, this is the final cut. Well, firstly, we've got a big day today for England. That's why I'm wearing the official merch, obviously. This will be a slightly longer video than normal because I do want to discuss that. I want to discuss Russell Martin. Guy Martin is the Isle of Man TT geezer, isn't he? I want to discuss Flynn Downs, maybe a little bit of Jota Silva as well. We'll discuss all that, but then at the end of the video, I want to have a chat about what I was talking about yesterday, and I want to address so many of the comments that people left in yesterday's video, because I've got to tell you, I'm over the moon with them. Anybody that left a positive comment yesterday, you've no idea how motivational it is. I cannot explain it. It's an easy thing to say, but I sincerely mean it. I'll tell you the truth. Sometimes when you do this, particularly do this for a job, sometimes you can read bad comments, and they demotivate you. There's no doubt about it at all. And I think sometimes you can concentrate so much on those bad comments, and some people can be quite mean-spirited sometimes. And I think you almost lose sight of the fact that actually most people are just inherently decent and wonderful and lovely. And so many of the comments that were left yesterday, I cannot tell you. Not only do they motivated me to want to do more videos, motivate me to want to do more stuff, perhaps get back to some of the stuff I used to do, maybe a little bit more of the silliness. So, look, thank you so much. I'll talk about that later. First of all, let's talk about Russell Martin, and let's talk about Flynn Downs. This was a little bit odd from Russell Martin. Now, Russell Martin was Flynn Downs' manager at Southampton last season. Flynn Downs had an exceptional season at Southampton. I believe he was his manager possibly at Swansea before as well, so they're well acquainted with one another. And obviously Southampton want to get Flynn Downs back. They want to complete the permanent signing of him. Now, I don't want to say a tantrum, maybe I do. He's gone a little bit crybaby, a little bit Russell Martin, and I think he's done a statement about getting Flynn Downs back, and it was a weird one really, because he was using language that you wouldn't really associate with a manager using, because it sounded a bit entitled, like he sort of deserved Flynn Downs, like Flynn Downs should be there. It was a sort of language that would indicate that the transfer is definitely going to happen. I don't know if part of it was a plea. Some of it seemed like a plea for Downs to come. Some of it seemed like an appeal to West Ham to let Flynn Downs go on the cheap. And I think some of it was an appeal maybe to Southampton to up their bid. It was just quite weird, really. And the reason it was odd was because 2 or 3 days ago, more learned people than me who have got far more ear to the ground in terms of external West Ham transfers, had suggested that Southampton had said to West Ham, you can have Kyle Walker-Peters, but we want Flynn Downs and 10 million. Now, that was a bit rich. As we understand it, West Ham would probably do a swap deal for Flynn Downs, which would value... It doesn't really matter what... They would value Flynn Downs at the same as Kyle Walker-Peters. It don't really matter whether it's tuppence and a curly-whirly or 15, 20 million. It's a swap. And it looked like that might have had some traction. And as people have suggested, Kyle Walker-Peters has... he might have even agreed personal terms with West Ham. I think the fact that they chucked in an extra 10 million made the transfer not happen. So I just find it a little bit weird. Let me tell you what Russell Martin said. He said, hopefully Downs will be wearing a Southampton shirt by the end of the summer. Again, I'm not going to accuse anyone of tapping up. I think West Ham do it, quite frankly. But it's odd to speak about another team's player like that. What did he say? If he's not here by the end of the summer, I'll be devastated. It's a matter of patience now. I wish he was already here. I've wanted him for 4 weeks. I hope we can demonstrate enough commitment to offer West Ham sufficient compensation to make it happen. Some other bits and pieces as well. It was quite bizarre, actually. Look, clearly he really wants Flynn Downs, but there's just an obvious solution here. I just thought, well, come on. It's quite obvious. Forget the reason this transfer isn't happening is because of that 10 million. Probably. There is something else here as well. There's something else at play. And that is that Flynn Downs might not want to go. He's got a new baby. Him and his partner relatively recently had a new baby. He's from Essex. I believe Flynn Downs has got business interests in Brentwood, quite possibly. he's apparently been quite buoyed by the chance that he might get some midfield game time at West Ham. I'm still really struggling here to see that Thomas Souček will play any part under Lopetegui. That would be... I would be very surprised if that happened, but there's been no talk of him going. So, I could be totally wrong on that. I think Flynn Downes feels he's got a part to play. Or he's got a chance to impress the manager. So I think he himself might be saying, well, just hold off on that transfer. So maybe, just maybe, there is no transfer to be done. But it's a bit of a weird one. I do think the reason that this transfer isn't happening, that there's only two of them, and that is that Southampton's price is wrong. Well, they can adjust that. They can sort that out, because Carl Walker-Peters definitely wants to come. And it's that Flynn Downes might want to stay. So I don't know why these public utterances and this... Honestly, he's like a little bit like a kid in the sweetie aisle at the supermarket, throwing a bit of a tantrum, really. Not that I would know about such things, obviously. So, yeah, a bit of a weird one there. England tonight. This is a rarity indeed, isn't it? Real rarity. It's happened a little bit more under Gareth Southgate. So what's that? That's 2 finals for Gareth Southgate and a semi-final. I'm not going to call it success, because success is winning, but he's got us there. We might not like the mode of travel, but the destination is okay, right? It has been quite crappy football along the way, but it feels like England have got momentum. Maybe that's just me wanting to win. Maybe that's... you start thinking these things to yourself, like, oh, it's our time. We it's me sounding entitled now. We deserve. It's just, I always wanted to, as a West Ham and an England fan, to see both win a trophy. Now, yes, I was alive in 1980 when West Ham won the FA Cup, but I was 6, and I don't remember it too well, truth be known. I can remember the game, but how much of that is actual memories, or how many times have I watched the replay of that cup final? Probably watched the replay of that cup final 5 or 6 times. So I always thought I want to see West Ham win a trophy, which have done, and I want to see England win a trophy. I'm not so old that I saw the 66 cup final, obviously. It was interesting to hear Declan Rice talking about the spirit of Prague, and you know what? Rightly so. Declan's got experience. Declan's lifted a European trophy. I guess you've got some Man City players there who have also done the same. Are there any others? Chelsea. Anyway, whatever. There's not many. There's a lot of players there who haven't, and he's one of them. So's Jared Bowen, obviously. I'd love to see Jared Bowen get some minutes, but I'm really looking forward to it, and I cannot wait. And I've not been bothered. I haven't really been too asked about the competition all the way through. And now I'm excited. I've got butterflies already. I think I'm going to spend the whole day having butterflies and sort of looking forward to it. I'm going to try and take in, as much of the build-up as I can. We'll be doing a build-up show over on the main channel, actually, today. Myself and Charlie will be doing a watch-along. So, really, really looking forward to it. And then I'm literally going to leg it to the pub at the end of the road there. But make sure you got your match bingo cards in, by the way. Get your match bingo cards in for the England game, for the final. The link's in the description below. If you don't know by now what match bingo is, it's basically a combination of bingo and football, rather than numbers being on your card. You know when a lady in the bingo hall, she calls out the numbers? 2 fat ladies, 88. 2 little ducks, 22. Then you've got the numbers on your card, you mark them off. There's not numbers on this. Things like goal kick, shot on target, shot off target, substitution, that sort of thing. We've had so many winners on Hammers Chat. It's unbelievable. The link's in the description below. It's match bingo. We've got so many offers going on at the moment, but it's only £2 per play, £2 per card. Numerous winners. Go and get involved. It's a good way to stay. It's an extra little bit of interest for the game, if you need any at all, because it is such a huge game. Cannot wait. Right, now for the indulgent bit. I just want to talk about yesterday, truth be known, and about the channel, and a little bit about my interactions on the channel and stuff like that, really. And it's not a conversation I particularly was ever going to have. I wasn't particularly upset yesterday, by the way, but I had so many like messages of support, and I thought, actually, I'm all right. Somebody had been a little bit critical that I went off on tangents. They weren't even that rude, to be fair, but they went off on tangents and had a little bit of a laugh. Well, actually, I used to do far more of that. And as people were bringing things up, which even I'd forgot about, the Zuma rumour. Do you remember when we Googled Kurt Zuma? And I think I'm probably guilty of I guess, forgetting that actually lockdown was quite a long time ago, wasn't it? I may be guilty for thinking that everybody has been watching for the whole time, but of course, many haven't. And there's loads of new subscribers on here that have... When did lockdown happen? Was it 2019? 2020? Honestly, it's hazy, isn't it? Honestly, it's hazy now. It really is. But that's when I started doing this as a job, basically. And I think I'm guilty of thinking that everybody knows that. And certainly during lockdown, we did a lot of silly stuff. We had to, right? I mean, there wasn't any football on. Like they got football going after a little while. We had to do a lot of silly stuff, and we did a lot of it on here. And I hope, and I like to think we had a right laugh. We did a lot of silly things. And I think, do you know what? It was so great to read so many of your comments yesterday saying, reminding me of stuff we did. I want to do more of that, and I really will. And I'm going to be looking to do a little bit more of that in the future. And as I said yesterday, this is not the no nonsense West Ham. This is the nonsense West Ham over on this channel. We are scattergun. We will go off on a tangent. And it's actually things like that which have spawned myself and Gio doing our Naked podcast on Patreon, which is, that whole thing where we don't talk about football at all. But I used to do a lot more of it on this channel, and I'm going to get back to that as well. We did used to do the whole walking at a dog thing, and I lost my dogs in April. Well, it was really sad. Lost one in March, one in April. I've got to show you this, actually, because I thought I'd get this out and show you. I'm just waiting to get a frame. Canning Town Len painted this. This is done with acrylic paints. So these are my two pooches. That's Baggins and that's Bubbles. Brother and sister, and they were my world. They really were. And they passed away within a month of each other. I mean, unbelievable, really. So yeah, Canning Town Len painted that. I got that commissioned, and he's captured them absolutely beautifully, by the way. So with the dog situation is I am going to be getting another dog. So what I had to do was I had to find another breeder, because believe it or not, I'm actually allergic to dogs. I wasn't always allergic to dogs, but then I got the allergy and all the rest of it. And actually, it turns out my son is exactly the same. So we ended up we wanted to get the Labradoodles, basically, which was what the breed those dogs were. But unfortunately, the reason that both Bubbles and Baggins sort of died within quite close proximity of one another was the breeding wasn't great. And I think when I got them, I was very naive, actually. I reading between the lines that they hadn't been properly bred. We thought we were doing the necessary research, and we just hadn't done. And I think that was the important thing. So I've decided to do it properly this time. So we contacted the breeder, went up to the breeder. The breeder was up in North Wales. So you've got the breeder won't just say yes. You almost got to have an interview with them. So we went up there and met the mummy and daddy dog and a lot of the other dogs as well. Made sure it was all right, saw all the paperwork, done everything, and we're hoping to pick up our dog sort of second week in November, actually. So that's going to be really exciting. So dog walks will be back on the menu again, and we'll do dogging with Gonzo. There you go. That'd be a nice little feature. So we'll get back on there. And that was always quite a nice one to do, to walk around and to do the dog walks and then talk about the West Ham news when I was out with the dog. So I'll do a little bit more of that, really. But I just wanted to say, I can't thank you enough for all the positive comments. And honestly, as I was reading each one, I was thinking, do you know what? I love this. And there's so many good people watch this channel. And I'm really, really grateful for it. And there'll be a lot of people who don't know this. I'm thinking about it now. This wasn't ever my job, right? Somebody wrote on the comments yesterday, I think somebody wrote something along the lines of, look, give the fella a break, meaning me. Every day he's got to try and produce basically 12 minutes of talking about West Ham from somewhere. And it was a lovely thing to write, and it was true. All right, because this is my job now, and I've always tried to be as honest as I possibly can be. Right, I need you to watch the adverts. We need you to maybe buy things off the sponsor. We need you to to join up with Patreon. We need you to you don't have to do all of them, or even just watching an advert helps. I cannot tell you how much, right? It really does. And I know they're annoying because I watch YouTube myself. I watch all types of stuff. I watch dogging ones for starters. Not that kind. I watch like mixed martial arts one, boxing YouTube channels. It's the irony is the adverts. Oh, for goodness sake, not another advert. Yeah, it's what I do to you guys, and I'm aware of it. I really am, and I'm aware of the irony and the contradiction of that. But the truth of the matter is, I never expected to do this as a job, and many will know, but many don't know. I used to be a plumber. COVID, I had a meltdown during COVID, quite frankly. I lost my job, I lost my family, everything broke down, my business crashed, and then so basically I was forced into doing this as a job. I was not in a good way, so we had to make it work. And myself and Gio and Charlie as well, we really ploughed ourselves into this and sort of created this little niche for ourselves. So yeah, this is what I do. So to have the encouragement of so many people saying, come on, mate, well done, appreciate what you're doing, and just all the lovely things. If you just go and read the comments from yesterday's video, that they are outstanding, and it was so good. And I mean, did good figures yesterday. Yesterday's video did good figures, and that in itself makes a difference. It's like an extra 20 quid to me. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. Do you know what I mean? I'm reading through. I think there's so many comments here, I can't get through replying to every single one. But I'll tell you what, bloody reading every single one, that's for sure. And buzzing with it, really. So, yeah, thank you very much. There'll be a lot more to come. I want to, get a little bit more inclusive with stuff as well. I don't want to make any big promises that I can't do. The direction of the channel is not inherently going to change. The direction of Hammers Chat is not inherently going to change, although we do have some nice new perks and tweaks lined up for next season. Don't get me wrong, hopefully improvements. But just wanted to say a massive thank you, really, and we'll try and get out and about a little bit more. Like the day we went out in my van and collected James Ward-Prowse, so some of you may remember that. That's one of the more recent ones. That's the stuff I like doing. Truth be known, that's the stuff I like doing. I like doing the Zuma stuff. I like doing the team of Dembélés. I like doing the Pringles. I like doing the Biscoff. This is the stuff that I really like doing, and it just brings a little bit of fun to talking about West Ham. And yeah, there you go. So you please excuse me that indulgence. Please excuse me if I put silly things on the thumbnail sometimes. Sometimes I just get bored of amusing myself, hence the reason we saw TARDIS Tim Stuyton literally next to a TARDIS yesterday. There'll be more of that to come. Thanks ever so much. Wherever you're watching the football tonight, enjoy the football. I'm not going to say those words that everyone else keeps saying because, but I hope we win. I'm desperate for us to win. I really, really want us to win. And if we win, then I'm sure, like yourselves, have a big, old, beaming, smiling face first thing on Monday morning. And whatever happens, whether we win or whether we lose, I will look forward to celebrating or commiserating with you on Monday morning.